Take one more look at this videotape, and this one where Wisconsin State Assemblyman Nick Milroy gets tackled on his way into the Capitol yesterday. Gets brought down to the floor by a uniformed officer. This will not be obvious from the tape, and in a way it's a small part of the story, but the guy who is doing the tackling of Mr. Milroy is not a member of the Capitol Police. He's not even from the police department in the city of Madison, where the state capitol is. The guy who tackled that state rep is from the police department in the town of Two Rivers, which is about 150 miles away from the state capitol. He was on special duty in Madison this week. Even as Governor Walker was prepping 1,500 layoff notices to state employees today, the governor's also been staging an extraordinary display of public sector manpower at the Capitol, calling in police officers from across the state to quiet the Capitol building, lock it down, hush it up, take your crock pots and go home, thank you for coming. But it's in Milwaukee, 80 miles east of Madison, where they've got the most over-the-top security of all right now. As of this week, Milwaukee County is paying 2 full-time security guards for every 1 full-time security job. For courthouse security, security at the other county buildings, Milwaukee is double paying right now. Why is that? It's because of Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. Governor Walker's first draft of the union busting he's trying to do at the state level now is what he did at his last job when he was county executive in Milwaukee. Mr. Walker's union busting at the county level, which he is now trying to extend to the whole state, has just done the legal equivalent of blowing up. In January, a Wisconsin court ruled that Mr. Walker had essentially invented a fake financial emergency to justify him improperly firing the county's unionized security guards. He privatized their jobs, all of them. He handed those jobs over to a foreign private company called Wackenhut. When the county board tried to stop him, tried to save him from himself, really, he overruled them, citing that fiscal emergency he had evidently cooked up. Mr. Walker overruled the county board. He fired all the union guards, and he replaced them with new ones from Wackenhut, a private, non-union foreign company that was sort of already a household name. At least in certain households, because they are the same company that became famous for this thing I am about to show you. Sorry, Mom. Parents, it is time to put your hand over your child's eyes if you are the sort of parent who puts your hand over your child's eyes. Okay, ready? Yeah, remember? Yeah. You can, yeah. These are the Wackenhut guys who we, the American taxpayers, pay to guard the U.S. Embassy in Kabul. These guys found a really, really novel way to spend their downtime, dancing around naked, some of them, and some of them in coconut brassieres, to celebrate the challenge of drinking vodka out of really hard-to-reach places in the rear-facing portion of one another's naked bodies. As my grandmother might have had me put it if she were still watching by this point, they drank spirits from each other's nethers. Thanks to Scott Walker, Wackenhut became Wisconsin's problem, too. Scott Walker improperly fired the union security guys, brought Wackenhut in instead, took $5 an hour off the wages, slashed the benefits. Wackenhut, in turn, hired a man with a criminal record who had done jail time and put him in charge of security at Milwaukee's courthouses and other city buildings. Now, because the courts have ruled that Mr. Walker did all of that improperly under the very transparent cover of a ginned-up financial emergency, sound familiar? Milwaukee is locked into paying double right now for a service it already has. The old union security guards are back, and they've still got the booty hind vodka Wackenhut on the job as well. The local Journal-Sentinel newspaper noting this week that, and I quote, none of the annual savings Mr. Walker promised from his union busting in Milwaukee County, none are expected to materialize. So that's how Scott Walker's union busting dream worked out the first time around. That's what he wants to do to the whole state now, in case you're wondering why folks there are up in arms.